Hi, my name is Tamara Webb, and my final project presentation is about Bridge of Spies. Bridge of Spies is Steven Spielberg's historical drama based on a true story of James Donovan, played by Tom Hanks, who is an American insurance lawyer unexpectedly thrust into the Cold War's diplomacy's heart. Tasked with defending captured Soviet spy Rudolph Abel, Donovan faces intense public backlash, but upholds the principle of justice. His commitment to fairness leads to his involvement in high-stakes negotiation to exchange Abel for American pilot Francis Gary Powers, who the Soviet Union had captured. The film highlights the complexities of negotiation, the ethical dilemmas involved in conflict resolution, and the importance of trust, communication, and principled leadership in managing interpersonal and international tensions. Personality and behavior played a huge part in the strategy. James Donovan had a strong moral compass. He acted with the utmost integrity. Rudolph Abel was calm, had a quiet demeanor, and had great inner strength. Soviets and the East Germans were rigid and self-serving, and this showed in all of their dealings. James Donovan's thoughtful communication style is one of the main reasons he's so effective as a negotiator. He listens carefully to everyone he interacts with, which helps him build trust and understand each party's deeper motivations. His approach reflects Julian Treasure's TED Talk, 5 Ways to Listen Better, especially the practice of RASA: receive, appreciate, summarize, and ask. Donovan doesn't just hear people, he listens with intent, showing respect, asking questions, and summarizing their positions to ensure understanding. This kind of active listening allows him to respond with clarity and empathy. He also speaks assertively yet respectfully, never escalating tension even under pressure. His calm tone and steady posture communicate confidence and openness, especially in his interactions with Abel, where nonverbal cues build trust. Donovan's strategic questioning also helps uncover hidden agendas like East Germany's push for recognition. The movie moves through the stages of negotiation. Donovan is brilliant. His preparation was meticulous and rooted in both legal strategy and human dignity. Let's talk about his preparation stage. He thoroughly studied the legal context of the case, international law, and U.S.-Soviet relations. He also evaluated the political landscape, understanding the risks of Cold War diplomacy. His initial aim was to ensure the fair trial of Rudolph Abel, but as the negotiation evolved, his goal became securing the release of U.S. pilot Francis Gary Powers, and later the inclusion of student Frederick Pryor. The Batna consideration? Chris Voss, a brilliant negotiator, said of Donovan, "Never once did he consider the concept of Batna, best alternative to a negotiated agreement." Donovan had one goal, and he went after it, never wavered. In the introductory stage, Donovan enters tense conversations with Soviet and East German contacts, laying the groundwork for productive dialogue. He presented himself not just as a lawyer, but as a private citizen dedicated to justice and mutual respect. Despite hostility and distrust, Donovan's calm demeanor helped disarm his counterparts and set a respectful tone. He framed the exchange as a humanitarian gesture rather than political leverage, reducing the adversarial tension. Donovan began presenting proposals and shaping the negotiation scope in the initiation stage tactics. His first proposal involved a straightforward one-for-one swap. able for powers. Then he introduced the idea of including prior, complicating the offer but raising the moral stakes. Donovan paid close attention to verbal and nonverbal cues from Soviet and East German negotiators, adjusting his approach based on their concerns and resistance. By gauging reactions to different options, he identified what each party truly valued: recognition, political legitimacy, or safety. In the intensification stage tactics, this is where pressure mounted and Donovan's negotiation skills were tested. The East Germans wanted to separate recognition from the Soviets, complicating the deal. Donovan stood firm, refusing to validate East Germany diplomatically. He crafted a solution where both East Germany and the USSR could claim partial victory, enabling the double exchange without either side losing face. Under surveillance, threats, and misinformation, Donovan stayed focused and ethical, avoiding coercion or manipulation. Donovan navigated the final moments of the deal with precision and integrity. He ensured both sides formally agreed to the term, coordinating the timing and logistics of the exchange. He insisted both powers and prior be released simultaneously to avoid betrayal, and the exchange at Glienicke Bridge and Checkpoint Charlie showed Donovan's planning and commitment to securing justice for both Americans. The way different characters handled conflict varied widely, and their approaches reflected key ideas from Corvette's conflict management and Sandy and Johnson's resolving everyday conflict. James Donovan stood out as a strong example of collaborative conflict management. He stayed calm under pressure, treated everyone with respect, and focused on finding solutions that worked for all sides. Corvette describes this collaborative style as aiming for long-term mutual benefit, and Donovan consistently demonstrated that. From biblical perspective, his sense of justice and compassion reflected Christ-like values, especially when he humanized Abel and insisted on due process. In contrast, the CIA and U.S. government officials often acted out of control and secrecy, which Corvette would call a competitive style, and Sandy and Johnson would describe as attack or escape response. Their lack of support created unnecessary tension. East German negotiator Wolfgang Vogel showed some skill, but relied too heavily on manipulation and positional bargaining, which Corvette warns can escalate conflict. James Donovan demonstrates emotional, intelligent leadership that directly shapes the negotiation and conflict resolution process. Donovan's leadership reflects collaboration, intentional listening, and ethical integrity. In Bridges' Spies, ethical choices play a significant role, especially in how James Donovan handles himself during intense political pressure. Instead of giving in to public opinion or treating Soviet spy Rudolf Abel as just a bargaining chip, Donovan chooses to act with fairness, compassion, and integrity. His commitment to doing what is right reflects the biblical call to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. In conclusion, Bridges' Spies highlights James Donovan's exceptional negotiation skills, marked by integrity, empathy, and strategic thinking. His ability to build trust, remain composed under pressure, and seek justice for all parties involved reflects a commitment to principled negotiation over political expediency. Donovan did not rely on coercion or manipulation, but instead prioritized truth, fairness, and relationship building, hallmarks of effective conflict resolutions. His action aligned with the biblical principle found in Proverbs 12:20, which says, "Those who promote peace have joy, By choosing peace and integrity in the face of hostility, Donovan exemplified how negotiation can be a redemptive process that honors both justice and compassion. Thank you.